welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa. Today I've got some fun recipes for you, all of which are breakfast themed, but they also have veggies snuck inside. So I don't know about you, but I personally love trying to sneak veggies into my diet any which way that I can. Love salads and all that good stuff, but breakfast is actually a perfect place to stash some veggies, and it's a good way to just like amp up the nutrition in your diet. So today we've got 3 delicious recipes. We are making 2 that have zucchini, 1 that has cauliflower, which are my 2 favorite vegetables for breakfast, and I think you're gonna love all of them. So we are making some zucchini pancakes. We're also gonna make some zucchini breakfast bars, which have banana and quinoa, and then we're finishing off with a really delicious chocolate mint smoothie. Like, I guess you could call it a mint chocolate chip smoothie. It's chocolatey, it's minty, but it's also got some veggies in there as well. So all of these recipes are up on the blog like they always are. You can find the links down in the description box below. And before we dive in, I would love to invite you to subscribe if you are not yet a member of this awesome community here on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that red button that is right below this video that says subscribe, and that will make you a member of our awesome tribe. So I would love to welcome you into the community, and without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so we're gonna start with our pancakes, and the first thing we're gonna do is grate our zucchini. So I like to use a box grater or a food processor, but right now I'm using a box grater. And the trick to zucchini, if you are using it to bake, is that you really want to make sure that you press out the water. So after you have grated it, and again, you can use any method that you want, just take all of that shredded zucchini and place it inside a clean dish towel. And then essentially you'll just wrap the dish towel around that shredded zucchini, and you'll use your hands to squeeze out as much water as possible. And this is gonna help you keep from getting too moist of a baked good and have it too soggy. So this is really important if you're using it in baking. So once you are done with your zucchini, you can just set it aside, and we're gonna move on to our wet ingredients first. So we're using almond milk as our milk of choice. You can use any vegan milk that you want. And then we're gonna add a flax egg as well as some maple syrup, some melted coconut oil, as well as a splash of vanilla extract. Whisk that together, set it aside, and we'll move on to our dry ingredients. For our dry ingredients in these pancakes, we are gonna be using quinoa flour, almond flour, coconut flour, baking powder, a little bit of cinnamon, and you can also add a pinch of sea salt if you want, and then give it a quick stir to make sure that all of the flours and everything are combined. And then we'll just pour the milk mixture directly into this bowl and give it a stir until everything is even and smooth and forms a thick pancake batter. From there, we're gonna add in our shredded zucchini, and you're just gonna transfer it directly from that dish towel. I actually like to break it up a little bit with my hands because I find that it is easier to evenly incorporate throughout the batter. Once you have your zucchini in there, again, just fold it all together until everything is combined. And for cooking these, I cook my pancakes over medium heat usually. And for my gluten-free and vegan pancakes, I actually like to drop some onto the pan and then use my spoon to kind of spread it out because the batter is a little bit thicker than traditional. So just spread it out evenly into a thin layer, and then essentially just cook it like you would normal pancakes. You're gonna wait for bubbles to form, and once they start to form, you can just give it a nice flip and cook it on the other side. It's maybe 2 minutes per side. And for serving today, we are gonna do a dollop of coconut yogurt. Surprise, surprise, I always do that on top of my pancakes. We're also gonna do a drizzle of almond butter, which is like my new favorite pancake topper. It's so good, and it adds a little bit of extra fats, which makes them more filling, and it's just delicious. And then I also do a little bit of shredded zucchini on the top, as well as some chocolate chunks, because chocolate and zucchini is like one of the best combos ever, as you'll see later on in this video. And then of course we finish everything off with my favorite Vermont pure maple syrup, which is just to die for. And these pancakes are so lovely and fluffy. They're gluten-free, they're vegan, they're healthy, they freeze well, they taste delicious, and they have such an awesome texture, and you would literally never know that there were vegetables inside. Next up, we're gonna make the mint chip smoothie, and these are the ingredients we're gonna be using. We are going to add everything into our blender, starting with our spinach, as well as our frozen cauliflower, frozen blueberries, hemp seeds for some extra protein and healthy fats, some raw cacao powder for our chocolate, some chocolate protein powder for a little bit of extra protein to make it more filling, as well as some fresh mint. And then for my liquid, I like to do a blend of water and coconut water. And then you'll just pop the lid onto your blender, pop the blender jar onto the base, and blend it up until it is smooth and creamy and lusciously smooth and delicious. For serving, I like to always have some sort of topping on top of my smoothie, but for today's, we're gonna do just a sprig of fresh mint as well as a sprinkle of chopped up chocolate. I'm noticing that there's chocolate in all of these recipes now, but hey, you can't go wrong with chocolate in the morning. The third recipe is our zucchini chocolate chip breakfast bars. Here is an overview of the ingredients, and we are gonna start with our dry ingredients. So the base is going to be oat flour. You're gonna add in some cooked quinoa to that, as well as some coconut sugar and some cinnamon, a little bit of baking powder, and some sea salt. Stir that together until the quinoa is not clumpy anymore and everything is kind of evenly distributed. And then you'll add in flax egg, some mashed up banana, as well as some cashew butter, and you could use any nut butter you want. I just like cashew butter because it has like the most mildest flavor. It's also really yummy. And then stir it all together with your spoon or whatever, and you're gonna have a really thick, gorgeous dough, kind of like this. From there, we will fold in our shredded zucchini and our chocolate chips. Just fold it in until everything is combined inside of that batter. And we'll finish off by transferring this into a parchment-lined baking sheet. I like to do a square 8x8 pan. I find that it just fits best and has the right height-wise that I like. So they're kind of thick, but not too thick, kind of like brownies. And you'll just spread it out with the back of your wooden spoon or spatula. And then you can bake these up in a 350-degree oven until they are golden brown and cooked through in the center. For slicing, I like to make sure that I let my bars cool completely so that they aren't soggy in the middle. I let them just cool in the pan, and then I remove the parchment paper from the pan, and I will just slice them up into squares. You can also slice these into bar shapes if you want. I find that this recipe makes 16 sized squares. You might want to have 2 if they're your full breakfast, or if they're just a snack, 1 bar is great. But they are packed with plant-based protein, so delicious, naturally sweet, chocolate, zucchini, hemp seeds, just all these good, amazing ingredients for you. And they're also really easy to make, and they keep well. And there you have it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed our veggie-inspired breakfast recipes. Like you can see, it's really easy to sneak these types of vegetables into your diet. Obviously, greens are something that a lot of people just add to smoothies, which I love doing, but you can also sneak in some other vegetables like zucchini and cauliflower that don't really have a lot of flavor, aren't gonna really affect the texture or anything like that of the thing that you're making, and you're just, like I said earlier, amping up the nutrition, which for me is a bonus. So if you do wanna try any of these recipes, I hope you do. They are linked down in the description box for you. You can find them up on the blog. I would also love to know if you do try one of them. So if you do, come back to this video, let us know what you make. Let us know if you made any substitutions, changes, anything like that. I'm always loving to see your creations because you guys are so creative. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe before you go. Red button right below this video. You already know that by now. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!